Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes life puts us in seasons where we feel completely alone. No friends to call, no one to lean on, no one who understands. But here's the truth: solitude is not punishment. It can be preparation. A man with no friends is not a man without value. He is a man who is being sharpened, tested, and prepared for something greater. When life puts you in a place of solitude, it can feel like a punishment. But in reality, it's often a stage of preparation. Being alone forces you to face yourself without distraction, without validation, without someone else filling the silence. It's in that silence that strength is built. Think about it: when you can't lean on anyone else, you have no choice but to rise on your own 2 feet. You start to discover abilities you never knew you had. You begin to realize that you're capable of carrying more than you thought. Solitude strips away the noise and gives you the space to listen to your own inner voice, to figure out what truly matters to you and what direction you want your life to take. Many people fear being alone, but loneliness can actually be one of your greatest teachers. It teaches resilience because you learn to keep moving even when there's no one cheering. It teaches discipline because no one is watching, and yet you still choose to do what's necessary. It teaches self-respect because you come to understand that your value doesn't depend on who is standing next to you, but on the person you are becoming in the process. Some of the strongest individuals in history endured seasons of solitude before stepping into their calling. That quiet period shaped their character and sharpened their focus. So if you find yourself without friends, don't see it as weakness. See it as an opportunity to build strength that cannot be shaken. Understand that the foundation you lay in solitude will support everything you do when the world finally takes notice. In those moments of silence, you are being shaped into someone far stronger than you were before. Too many people measure their worth by how many friends they have, by how many people call them, or how full their social circle looks from the outside. But the truth is, your value as a person is not tied to how many people surround you. It doesn't come from numbers, it comes from character. You could be surrounded by 10 people who applaud you, and yet not one of them truly believes in you. On the other hand, you could stand completely alone and still carry more strength, dignity, and worth than a crowd that follows blindly. When you understand this, you stop living for approval. You stop bending who you are just to fit in. You no longer chase after shallow friendships that only exist because of convenience or circumstance. Instead, you begin to recognize that the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you build with yourself. That relationship is what defines your confidence, your peace, and your ability to stand firm in life. Friends may come and go, some will cheer for you when it benefits them and disappear when it doesn't. But who you are when the crowd leaves, that is the true measure of your value. If you stand with integrity, if you hold on to your principles, if you refuse to compromise who you are, then you carry a worth that no one can take away. Real strength isn't found in being popular, it's found in being authentic even when no one else is watching. So never believe the lie that your worth is measured by who walks with you. Your worth is measured by the values you stand on, and those values will always carry you further than the applause of a crowd. There is a certain clarity that only comes when you are alone. When the noise of constant conversations and endless distractions fade away, you begin to hear thoughts you never noticed before. Solitude has a way of sharpening your vision. Without the influence of people pulling you in different directions, you finally have the space to ask yourself the important questions. What do I truly want? What do I stand for? Where do I see myself going? These answers often don't come when you're surrounded by chatter, but in the stillness, when you're left with nothing but your own thoughts. Many of the greatest ideas, the strongest plans, and the clearest dreams were born in moments of isolation. It's in silence that creativity finds its voice and purpose begins to take shape. If you're always leaning on others, their expectations and opinions can blur your vision. But when you learn to stand alone, you strip away those distractions and see life for what it really is. You see your potential without comparing it to anyone else. You see your future without waiting for someone else's approval. This is why seasons without friends are not wasted. They are seasons of discovery. They allow you to recognize your strengths, to face your weaknesses, and to grow into the person you are meant to be. Clarity comes when you no longer depend on others to tell you who you are. It comes when you trust your own eyes, your own heart, and your own purpose. So if you find yourself alone right now, don't run from the silence. Step into it. Because in that silence, your vision is being sharpened and your path is being prepared for something far greater.